Thought I would just shoot a real quick tip. I'm not an expert in all things calling, but I have some things that have worked for me, and just talk a little bit about calling today and rattling with antlers. What are you trying to do? You're trying to mimic a buck fight to get the attention of a dominant buck and draw him in to within shooting range. Now, when do you rattle? Well, that's subjective. You can rattle, most guys would say, during the last couple of weeks of October to the first couple of weeks of November. But I've actually filmed bucks fighting in late September, so I think it's just dependent upon what's going on in the area. I typically tend to lean more into the direction of pre-rut to rut. That's when I rattle. That's one thing that's very important. The next thing that's very important, I believe, is using real antlers. Like, you can buy a set of man-made antlers, and they will work. But nothing reproduces the sound like real actual bone. And the second thing that I think is critical for me is that I use big antlers. And you're going to saw them off so you don't, the brow tine, so you don't bust your hands. And you want to make a lot of noise. A lot of guys tickle. I'm more in the camp that I think you ought to crash those things. They imitate a very aggressive battle in the timber to draw a dominant buck in. And so you got to be ready. I usually do it about every 45 minutes, set my antlers down, grab my bow, have an arrow nocked with my release on, standing in the ready, because if the deal's going to happen, it's going to happen in about 5 minutes. Give it a rest and then go after it again if you're in that season when bucks are responding to rattling. And again, my motto is, if you're not hitting them hard enough to smell them, then you're not hitting them hard enough. And when you get you a real set of antlers, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, because they put off an odor when you're really cracking those things. And so I encourage you, get you a set of good sheds, get out there this season, see if you can't draw a dominant buck in by rattling.